Good morning, my friend. How are you?
That I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm so glad. Yay. I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Oh, welcome.
Fun to have the early morning energy
Yeah.
that I usually um, just pour toward Amelia when I wake her up for school. But this weekend magic has her with her dad and me in fabulous high vibe conversations with fabulous
Excellent.
women. It's so fun.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. No, I'm excited to talk to you.
I love talking to you. I'm eager to hear what is on your heart. Like as you're entering 2026, I know you have so many fun and fabulous things, and I want to hear about all of them.
Yeah, so I am working right now on my workbook, the companion workbook to my book. And the companion workbook is a guide, like step by step, how to apply the magnet model in your business.
Right.
And that is coming out in a couple of weeks.
Oh my
I'm going
gosh.
on vacation next week, and after that, it's pedal to the metal, and it will come out in a couple of weeks.
Oh
Yeah,
my
by the
gosh.
end of February,
I
latest.
love this. And I would love for you to, because our podcast episode where you explain the magnet model is not going to air for who knows.
Couple months.
Like so many months. It's so fun, but that's why I'm loving having these conversations. So I have a couple of questions. I would love for you to explain the magnet model
hmm
so that people understand what
hmm
this beautiful thing is that you are working on. And then I have some questions about
All
the
right.
timing of your vacation.
Okay. So the magnet model is a different way of doing marketing that can bring the joy that you have when you do your client work into your marketing. Because a lot of
Mm.
people, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially mission-driven entrepreneurs, are kind of gradually drawn into doing marketing that feels kind of yucky or they just don't enjoy it. That's why the subtitle has, entrepreneurs who hate marketing. So I found through my experience, and you can read the book to hear the whole story, but that you can do marketing in a way that's really different. So I learned everything that I was doing with my clients that was working so well and created the magnet model. And it's a framework with 9 strategies, but there are 3 key drivers: mission, message, and movement.
Mm.
Mission is about really putting the spotlight not on you, no self-promotion, no spotlight on us, but on your mission. So first articulating it, really explaining it, what is it, and having this resonance with your audience so that they can feel your mission, they feel your passion, they know you have their back, right? And it's also about digging through your life and understanding what about your life is making you specifically the right person to do this work now. And that differentiation is something we're all chasing around for, right? So that's mission. Message is, of course, about your messaging, but it's really about understanding your prospects and your audience very, very deeply. So deeper than their current problem, but really helping them understand all the things that are standing in their way that explain why they're not taking action on this problem, right? Otherwise, they would have resolved it already. So there's all these underlying things, and you understand them, you address them, and then people recognize that, and then they're like, "Wow, this person understands me. They're gonna be able to help me." So it helps you figure out how to figure understand your customers better. And then movement is it's about beyond your relationship with your audience and your prospects and your clients. It's really making the world around you better understand what it is you're doing and see the importance of it so you can develop champions. And also, so your work goes much beyond yourself. And it's also around creating, it's all together, creating a community around your work. So
Mm.
we create community with our informally with our content. And so this is really cultivating that and connecting people and sort of becoming the hub so that people come to you and that expands your reach. So when you
Mm.
have those three drivers in place, you attract the ideal clients, your ideal clients, you get referrals, and you are constantly expanding your reach. And those three things are what makes you able to reach your goal, which is impact, income, independence.
Yep.
So, impact, income are self explanatory. Independence is beyond working where and when you want. It's really the freedom to work aligned with your values and with your own boundaries and really being able to have a sustainable business.
Oh
That's
my
my
gosh. Okay.
mom.
All of this is so gorgeous, so necessary. I'm so delighted to be having this conversation. I think, especially at this time of year
Yeah.
and this also moment in time
Hmm.
where collectively we're looking for something better, just collectively, right?
Yeah.
And also the people that you and I are mostly in the ears of
Hmm.
are, for me at least, it's women that are reinventing themselves, but also just paying attention to their own needs
Yes.
earlier than they, there we've moved ourselves up in the hierarchy
Mm.
of who we're taking care of
Yeah.
because of our ages, because of our life status, because maybe the people that we were taking care of have moved out of the house and
Hmm.
or we're changing job, whatever the shift is, whether it's environmental, circumstantial, and internal,
Yeah.
we want more. And we know some stuff. And
Yeah.
we also, there can be some impatience woven in that because it's like, oh my gosh, it took so long for me to get to this place where I'm finally identifying what I want and who I want to serve.
Hmm.
And it feels like there's a chasm between me and my offer, like how I can impact, and the people that I'm here to serve. And it feels like that chasm is as wide and as time consuming as the journey to get me to where I am now. And I don't have another 57 years to get a client. So I believe that this conversation is incredibly in service to the women that are drawn
Yeah.
to me because we can put the, like you say in the tagline of the book for people that hate marketing, because we have these ideas that it's smarmy, that it's hustle, like some bro energy.
Hmm.
We got to stand in front of our jet and say, hey, you just decide, and then there it is. Well, yeah, mainly because there's a bunch of women doing all the stuff for you so that you can, hang out on your jet. And so, all of this to say, we can create a narrative that says, yes, I know that I have a message and I'm never going to be able to crack the algorithm or do enough action
Hmm.
to reach the people without sounding like I'm showing off, which without sounding like I'm saying, look at me,
Yeah.
look at me, look at me.
Mhm.
And I know that that was my story until it wasn't, right? But
Yeah.
what the messaging
Mhm.
that helped me turn the corner was to realize that me talking about the shifts that have happened in my mindset and how that impacts my business and how my yes unlocks my how and all of
Mhm.
these things, that it wasn't me saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. It was saying, come with me. I'm
Yeah.
not telling you this to show off. I am telling you this to show how.
Hmm.
This is how I'm doing it. You get to implement that in a
Yeah.
way that feels in alignment to you. But what your framework has created is this beautiful, aligned way of allowing the right people to
Hmm.
come to whomever the
Yeah.
person is
Hmm.
by concentrating their message into their own heartbeat, into their own, they can
Hmm.
speak it like they're
Yeah.
breathing in and breathing out. And
Hmm.
it's that person. We don't have to figure out an algorithm. We need to have clarity about
Yeah.
what we want to do that impact the transformation that we want to see in our clients. And that clarity, that's the algorithm.
Yeah. You have explained the why for what I do so beautifully. I'm gonna
Yay.
get the transcript and write an article,
Perfect.
if with your permission and
Of course, of course.
what you said is exactly why we need this book and what I wrote. And it's exactly why I shifted very late in the writing process my title from the magnet model or how to use it or whatever it was that I had before. Suddenly it came to me, the title, Unlock Your Impact, because exactly the way you've described, we have this experience. We have come to this point in life. We're impatient. We need to get it out, and we're stuck because of the way business is organized around us, right? So, what we need is to unlock our impact. And once I had this idea, I was like, okay, that's the name of my book.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say is that the framework that I describe with all the strategies starts being explained strategy by strategy in chapter 5. So the introduction and chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, of course, it's, some of it is my story, why I wrote this book, all this other stuff, but and especially in the workbook, I developed that a lot to help you figure out, okay, what is the business that you want? What is the life that you want? So, a lot of times to do something and do something well and do it right, you need to go back. You need to figure out, okay, what is the big picture? What is the context in which I'm going to operate and do this one thing? Because otherwise it's floating, it's unmoored, it's not going to be able to go where you want to because it's that lack of clarity.
I
So
may I ask you a question about that?
yeah.
So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
in response to lack of clarity, we can tend to overthink
Yes.
and not start until
Mhm.
we know exactly what
Yeah.
it, quote unquote, it is and
Mhm.
how it's going to make money in 90 days and how
Mhm.
every investment we're ever going to make in ourselves or our business is going to have a 10x ROI from the beginning. So how are you balancing the clarity with the actual offer and knowing, I mean, I know I'm in the process right now of splitting my brand because the Phineas Wright House, of course, that was a long held dream to move from California to Massachusetts and to have a bed and breakfast. And it morphed and developed into all of these things. And then it became, I'm going on trips and taking my hospitality show on the road. And so then that was Phineas Wright House on the road. And then it
Mhm.
became the podcast. And now we're saying yes to ourselves. And now people are pitching me to be on the podcast. And they're saying, Dear Phineas, we would love to be on your podcast. And so it doesn't make sense. So now I'm splitting what is, with the house stays with the house. And everything else I'm doing is just now wendyharrop.com. So in if I waited until I knew it was going to be two accounts and two websites, I would be 6 years wasted of because I would
Yeah.
have never known it was going to be this. So it's this permission to have clarity with what we know right now and permission to morph
Yes.
and course correct and pivot and expand and
Hmm.
take things off the list and put things on. So permission to be fluid and
Yeah.
permission to be certain.
Yeah.
Or are we balancing that?
Yeah. That's interesting because I was writing an article yesterday for Authority Magazine, and some of what you've just asked is some of the I was playing around with that idea and explaining it. So it could seem contradictory to
Yeah.
say you need absolute clarity and um and don't, and just start. But the thing is that both clarity and confidence are not things that you just get or have.
Right.
They're part of a journey. They
Yeah. They're on
build,
the other side of courage.
yeah, and they build gradually, little piece by little piece. It's not like there is clarity, yes or no, or confidence, yes or no. It's a wave. It evolves. And so the real key is action.
Yes.
Once you take one tiny, tiny action, just write one sentence about the business you'd like to have. Already, having written that one sentence, you're better off, you're closer to clarity and confidence than you were before you did anything, right? So you take tiny little actions, and every single action you take then gives you information. How did it feel? How is it aligned? What were the results? What came out of it? What is the clarity that you got from it? What's the confidence you got from it? And then you continue to do these decision trees, right? Like you're not thinking of it that way necessarily, but every single time you take an action, then you have a tree that opens. Like repeat the action, tweak it a little bit, throw it out and do something else. And it's overlaid and continues an endless cycle. And you're doing this 20 times a day, every single action. So to so action is really it's starting.
Yeah.
And the way to make sure that you're not just getting lost in the weeds is to have this long-term vision. And that's the first chapter, well, chapter 5, in the framework is what is your vision? What does the world look like when you have done everything you possibly could do with no limitation of time, space, resources, or access? And once you have an image of what that looks like, that's the ideal you're going towards, that never changes. And so, well, I mean, you could tweak it if you want, but generally it's from your heart. It's what you want to see. So all these actions seem repetitious, but they're all going towards that direction.
Right. Okay, so many things came up for me in what you just said. It for people that have parented or people that have been in a marriage or people that have had a relationship with their own friends or family of origin, you don't try to figure out how to be the best parent or the best spouse or the best friend or the
Mhm.
best team member and then apply for the job or have the
Mhm.
baby. It's like it's on the job training. And it's the same thing that happens in this next iteration of who we're becoming and the business we're starting.
Mhm.
It's okay. It's just
Yeah,
on the job training. And
yeah.
then the other thing that I thought of, and you said it so beautifully, and it's like my favorite game in the whole world, is to like imagine the world you want without limitations of time, resources, money, expertise, all of those things. I mean, that's what I do in my Space to Dream workshops, whether they're
Mhm.
in some fabulous global destination or here at the Phineas Wright House or online, like
Mhm.
virtually. It's it is unlocking, giving yourself permission to not wake yourself up from your own dream. So, how do you balance? Because for me, it came with practice, but I also only needed like two people to give me permission to do it before I realized I'm the one that gives myself permission. How do we balance imagining, dreaming, uh, mind mapping without limitation and the feeling that it's irresponsible to not take in the current circumstances as the hindrances that they really are. Obviously, I don't believe they are the hindrances that they really are, hence the voice change. So how do we balance dreaming and this cultural mandate to be responsible?
Yeah, so I think you do the visioning, right? You have what it what it looks like. Um, but you're also starting from where you are. So the actions that you're taking, so I guess the that's interesting. So you're here, you're starting your whatever endeavor, right? So you have this vision, and somewhere between the two is some reality that you feel you can execute, right? And that's kind of what I'm doing in chapters 1 to 4, when I think about it. It's okay, what is my capacity? What are my resources when I'm talking more about energy, of course, money too, but what is it that I'm capable of doing? So, yes, I would like all the entrepreneurs in the world, all those millions, to be able to do business freely and happily and be role models and um, contribute to the economy, grow their communities, be role models for their family and their friends, right? That's my vision. Now, how many entrepreneurs can I coach without burning out?
Right.
6, 12 at any given time, right? So now you're coming right back to like, what is possible for me?
Right.
And that's where you need to define that frame. Like, what is it? What is it that I can do? And remember that, we're all tiny little specks in the universe, right? So you have a vision, so you know where you're going, but it's not like you're going to execute on that, like you're not gonna make the vision happen. It's a direction, right? It's your North Star.
Right.
So
Right.
you,
That the present
yeah,
reality, the present what is, doesn't limit the visioning, but
yeah,
it informs what the next
exactly.
logical step is toward the vision.
Right, exactly. And so you determine your frame, and then once you've executed on that, if I say 6, clients is all I can handle, then you do the 6 and you do it well, and then you figure out ways to do more or to do differently or to expand your message or whatever your other way of scaling and increasing your impact, not scaling necessarily in millions of dollars, but increasing your impact. Whatever that step is, it's still in that direction of your vision, but it is grounded in the reality of things.
Yes. And obviously, all of this makes perfect sense. And the reason that I am suggesting these out loud ridiculous scenarios of not starting anything until we already know it's going to work, or vision using our current bank account to
Mhm,
inform our dream session like that.
mhm.
Those things sound ridiculous, and
No.
those tapes are running on
Yeah.
repeat in our
Yeah.
mind. They only sound
Mhm,
ridiculous because I let them outside of my body. But when
mhm.
I just listen to
Yeah.
that inner critic, or it's not even, doesn't even sometimes feel like it's my voice, but it's the voice of someone that I've experienced in my life
Mhm,
that
mhm,
I give so much power to because I allow these thoughts to be on repeat,
mhm.
and there's something powerful that happens when we name them
Mm-hmm.
they lose all of their power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amelia is 12. She's in her Harry Potter phase. And
Mm-hmm.
the villain, Voldemort, so many people say, you know who, or he who shall not be named, and all of these things. And Dumbledore refers to him as Tom Riddle. It's like it's all the same person, but it's each character's impression of how powerful that idea
Mm-hmm.
is how they title it. And I think that there's so much to that that parallels what our own experience is,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what we want.
Yeah, there's so many influences that that start with parenthood, like your parents. We do our best as parents, but we are projecting a whole lot of crap onto our kids. Let's not fool ourselves. So there's the parents, the image, the modeling of you see your parents act a certain way, whatever they're saying, right? Then you have school that imposes a whole bunch of pushy kind of messages that are very reductive, and it goes on and it goes on, and then in work, and so we have to undo these voices, and it's a huge job because by the time we realize, most of us are no spring chickens, right? So it's a lot of conditioning that we have to undo. And yeah, we need people like you to get us in rooms where we say, okay, stop the voices, let's reconnect with the real work.
Yes, right. And that is exactly, thank you for saying all of that. And that is exactly what these space to dream workshops are, or even the trips, even my morning practice. It's
Mm,
just a pattern interrupt.
yeah.
Whatever, whoever is listening to this, whether they're doing the dishes, whether they're on the walk, whether they're sitting on the sidelines of a freezing cold soccer game right now, whatever they're doing, they are holding space for themselves. They are experiencing a pattern interrupt in the midst of their
Mhm.
daily duties as well. And even if they could just pause this and grab a pencil or open the notes app or just answer the question without filter, if there were no limits,
Mm-hmm.
what would I want to
Yeah.
do? What would I want February of 2027 to look like? What
Mm-hmm.
would because when you put it a little bit out
Mm-hmm.
from your current
Yep.
space, it's you convince yourself that something is possible. Like as I'm going on a
Mm-hmm.
cruise in March, and I
Mm.
keep thinking, it's like, well, if I did this health thing every day from now until the cruise, I could get some traction on this. Like that would
Mm-hmm.
be really good for me, and I would be happy to be in a bathing suit for 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the closer it gets without me actually doing the thing, makes it feel like, oh crap, I think I just got to buy a new bathing suit now at this point. So having it be a little bit farther out
Yeah.
allows us to dream and
Yeah.
to not put a limit on it, but there's something also so powerful about writing it down.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Writing it and looking back at evidence that whatever the voices are saying is not true. And the voices are always the voices, the patterns, whatever you want to call them,
Right.
but they're always there ready to pounce at the first opportunity. I mean, you read an email and boom, the voices are there like, this is what this means. And you're like, no, wait, give me a second here. This is not what it means because, I mean, I noticed when I had something happen. I had an email in my inbox last week or the week before from Amazon saying that my account was terminated. I couldn't sell my book anymore. Everything had disappeared for no reason. And it was so interesting. I mean, it was panic. But it was so
Totally.
interesting to watch everything that happened to me. The
Yeah.
voices that came in, it's like, who did you think you were writing a book? Like, and I was like, but the book's written. What are you even saying? But the emotion was there, all the voices. I was like, it was really, there was almost like for 48 hours, it's all fixed, right? But um, for 48 hours, it was really interesting for me to notice all these things happening, and I wrote about it. Um, the kinds of things that I never expected. I had a feeling in my lower belly like I
Mm.
had before the first day of school back when I was a kid. I haven't had that happen to me in like 40, 50, what am I saying? 50 years now. But this happened and I'm like, where does this all come from, right? So it's all there, ready to pounce on you at the first opportunity. So we need to make that space to get away from that stuff, right?
Yes. I mentioned my morning practice, and a part of that is I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. And one of the lines in the text is that the ego speaks first and the ego speaks loudest.
Hmm.
And so, what these opportunities are for you, like you said, to
Hmm.
notice, be aware, like, oh, that's
Hmm.
fascinating. Just pretend
Yeah,
now you're watching a movie and just
right.
write down all of those limiting thoughts that come, and then ask yourself, okay, what does love want me to know?
Hmm.
And then you get to listen to your inner wisdom, which is way nicer than all of that nonsense that you've already
Yeah.
written down. But we do hold space for our dreams. We do hold space for these expanded ideas, but holding space for the limiting beliefs to identify them and let them like run the course. You can play that
Hmm.
tape out. It's like 17 seconds long, but we just
Hmm.
keep stopping it at 10 seconds and
Hmm.
it gains more and more power. And then it we hand all of our power to it. But if we
Yeah.
play it out and write it down and go, okay, is that actually true?
Yeah.
Like you said, I already wrote
Hmm.
the book, so it doesn't matter who I thought I was writing a book. I
Hmm.
was her and I did the thing. So
Yeah.
that's actually not true. And
Yeah.
really holding space
Yes.
from a place of compassion, from a
Yeah.
place of love for that little girl, for
Of
little
course.
Sophie on the first day of school, for
Hmm.
little Wendy, who is doing cartwheels in the living room to entertain the guests that are there for dinner because people pleasing is performative.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, isn't she a joyful little girl? I'm like, oh, actually, people pleasing is a trauma response. So,
Hmm.
like, it's, we have so much to show ourselves compassion for.
Hmm. Yeah.
And when we do that, it makes the dreaming part easier because
Hmm.
not only are we saying to our future clients, come with me, we're
Hmm.
saying to little Wendy and little Sophie, come with
Yeah.
me. I've got
Yeah.
this. Like
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
were doing the best you could because you were little and you knew what
Yeah.
you knew, but I know stuff. Come
Yeah.
with me. It's going to be
Yeah.
so fun.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Yeah. Come with me. Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my
That's the title
gosh.
of a book. That's your book. Come
Okay.
with me.
I
Write the book.
know, right? And it's true. And it's so fascinating
Hmm.
because that's what I want. And I feel like I'm making it obvious. I create and curate opportunities for women to say yes to themselves. I have 310 episodes of a podcast called Say Yes to Yourself. I'm expanding my property line. I'm buying property in France. Like all of these things, I am saying yes to myself. And yet I am not, there is a gap between what I'm doing and what I want that message to convey and the people that it's meant for are
Hmm.
not hearing me.
Yeah.
So you'll what you are talking about, we already know this, of course, am an ideal candidate,
Hmm.
and so is everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that what the work that you and I are doing together is moving this message from my heart and even
Mm-hmm.
from my inspired action to the eyes and ears and hearts
Yeah.
of the women that it's meant for.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's what that does.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're so amazing. And I wanted to talk also about your calendar, which
Oh,
I think was so beautiful. Can you talk about this? Because I think that our listener knows I want them to sit down with their journal and dream big.
yeah.
And I think that they know that you want to help them with their messaging to get
Mm-hmm.
those two dots to connect.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you've created in this calendar is such a beautiful baby step, bite
Bridge.
size thing. You can do this. And then you realize, like you said, it's a bridge. It spans that gap, but
Mm-hmm.
it does it one very beautiful, easy invitation at a time. So can you
Yeah.
explain what went
Sure.
into the calendar and what your hope is with it?
Yeah. So stepping back a little bit, one of the biggest challenges that entrepreneurs face is how to convey their message in a way that's going to be meaningful and resonant with their audience. Like, how do I find my ideal clients? And like I said in the message part of the magnet model, you need to understand what your audience, your prospects are experiencing and believing in order to deliver that to them in your messaging so that they can see themselves and resolve these issues so they can come to you to for the solution, right? So that's not so easy to do. And ever since I started this work, I've been creating prompts and questions for people to help extract that knowledge that they have. We know our clients really well.
Well, right, because aren't they us just a
Well,
little while
they're
ago?
also us. They're also us. A lot of times, not always, but yes. But we know them, and so we have a lot more knowledge than we think we do, right? It's just a matter of pulling it out, and that's something that's I'm good at. So I've been using these prompts, and I've used them in workshops, and I use one every time in my co-working sessions once a month. So I have all these prompts and they're super helpful. And one day it just occurred to me, like, how do I put these prompts in front of people so they can use them in an easy way on a daily basis when they're stuck in front of their computer thinking, oh, I need to post. What am I going to say in my post? Right? That's the constant daily battle. So it being, October, November, when I thought of this, I said, whoa, what about a calendar where well, initially I had a prompt every day, and then I was like, no, that's not doable.
Right.
So each week,
I'm
so
already overwhelmed.
yeah. And each prompt, honestly, you can write probably 5 posts, one article, you create a video, you can do a lot of things just with one prompt. So that's sufficient. So this is the cover of the calendar. But the point I want to make is that the way it's organized is I've left this, can you see it properly?
Yep.
I've left all this blank so you can use it as a proper calendar. But over here, each week, even the non-full weeks, you have a prompt. And let me give you a couple of examples. What are 3 to 5 things that become possible for your clients after working with you?
Mm,
I'm sure a lot of people say, oh, this client got this result and that result, but what was the result able to unlock in their life, right? So those are those things. What are 3 to 5 things you stand for in your work? What are 3 to 5 things you wish your clients did? What are 3 to 5 myths or misconceptions about your topic? So all kinds of prompts like that.
right.
And everybody who's used my prompts are amazed by how much it allows them to dig into what they already know and put it out and express it. So that's what I did. And then after that, I just had to, turn the months pink because yes, because. And then I used pictures to inspire because these are all pictures from my trips or another entrepreneur who I work with, one of my clients. She travels a lot. And it's an inspiration because it's about what is one thing you can do when you're able to have this impact and it brings income and it gives you that freedom to travel. And so it's inspiring. And then I put a quote from my book on each of the calendar months.
Oh my gosh. I love it so much. And we will definitely link it down in the description as well. But I love that it doesn't matter that tomorrow is February. You can
Hmm.
get the calendar. It's something that is the weekly prompt.
Hmm.
It does build on each other through the month.
Hmm.
And it also gets us into the habit of communicating clearly that our own prompts come to us. Like it's not that we don't know what we're doing. It's just nice to have I mean, it's why we buy a cookbook. We have so
Yeah.
many cookbooks. It's not
Yeah.
to learn how to cook. It's to
Yeah.
not have to think about what to make for dinner. Like I want someone else and with a pretty picture to
Yeah.
say, how about this?
Yeah, that's true. And as you are working with the prompts, what it also does is that it puts it in your mind. And so then when you're having conversations with people, you're working with clients, that prompt is there in the back of your mind. So you're continuing to gather information that informs that prompt. So even after you've exhausted the prompt, you probably could use it again a month later or a year later or whatever. And yeah, I was thinking to myself, well, it's a calendar. So when February, March hits, what are we going to do? It's not going to be important. So I decided that every quarter I'm going to recycle it so it becomes a
Perfect.
April to April calendar and then
Yep.
I'll remote it.
It's a brilliant. It's such a good idea. And I think it's really important too. For me, I love an 18-month calendar
Mm-hmm.
because I was a wedding planner in my
Mm-hmm.
former career, and you start meeting people that are getting married in 12 to 18 months. And
Yeah.
if you're working with a regular 12-month calendar, I was constantly moving these clients moving into my new calendar, which I say as if that was not fun. I love moving into a new calendar. Like I'm obsessed with paper
Yes.
calendars. In fact, my 2026-27, my 2-year calendar is arriving today, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
so excited to move into it. But these things they do build on
Yeah.
top of each other. And so I'm gonna, before we I let you go, I I'm gonna ask you one of these prompts
Oh,
for you. Okay. So
this
uh,
might boomerang on me real fast.
no, you're gonna be great. What are the top 3 to 5 key desires and aspirations that your prospects? Oh,
Yes, there's a typo in that first
yeah.
one.
Okay, sorry that I took the
It's
typo.
the
Okay,
first
so
prompt. Yeah.
yep.
Hmm.
What should it be?
Yeah.
That your prospects come to you?
Yes, come to you.
Okay.
And I've fixed it since, but you were one of
Yep.
the
No,
first
that's
one.
okay. Sorry about that.
Um, so they want to find clients for their business. That's the first thing that they come to me with, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so they want to find clients for their business because they want to be able to have the income that will allow them to continue this work.
Yeah.
So that's two. They want to stop having this awful feeling when they do their marketing. And they don't necessarily come to me with that request, but it is an aspiration that,
Right.
they want to be working on their clients. It's at the top of the back of my book. I want to work with my clients. I don't want to do marketing. If
Exactly.
only I could only work with
Exactly.
my clients and not do
Yep.
marketing, right?
Right. If they
Well,
would just be my client, they would see what I do, and then I wouldn't have to tell them what I'm going to do for them.
right, right. And the more, this is not grammatically great, but the more you don't have clients,
Right. Right.
the more you time you have to spend in the marketing world. I always say there's this um, um, wall, it's a brick wall, the brick wall fallacy, that there's your client work on one side where you're all happy and you're talking and you're just excited. And then on the other side of the wall, there's marketing land, which is like a desolate place. And you're like, I don't want to be here." Right? And I
Yep.
say, no, it's a fallacy. There is no brick wall. Once you, sorry, I'm not answering the prompt. I'm
No,
going
no, no, it's perfect.
on
Go,
a
go,
tangent,
go.
on a
Good.
rant.
No, I
Once,
love it.
once you think of your clients with curiosity and generosity and your prospect and your audience and people, you are able to share with them all these beliefs and all everything else. And so you're actually helping them. You're
Right.
taking them on a journey. It's earlier in the journey. It's before they start buying from you, but you're helping them. So your energy of helping clients can come into play, and that's the whole thing. So number three, I don't want to cheat you.
No, I love it because I that is the whole point of a prompt. It's
Yeah,
just to get you started
right,
on
right,
a track of thought. It's not to check the box of I thought of three. I answered the question. Sophie's going to
right.
be so proud of me that here's my one, two, three. No, it's like
Yeah,
it gets you, it gives you something to edit. It
yeah,
doesn't require you to
exactly.
create something.
You're right. Yes, thanks for making that point. So the
Yes.
third is they want to stop having this pain of having to do marketing, and it drags them
Right.
down. Um, they, and this is related to the first, they want to have this impact. They want to have a lot of people understand the importance of this topic that they're talking about. So there's the importance to their client and how it's going to change their life. But there's also a bigger awareness. Usually, that's my definition of a mission-driven entrepreneur is they want to help. That's the main driver. But they also have a bigger message that they need a lot of people to hear. And so they
Yes.
want to convey that message. And as long as they're stuck in this marketing land, they can't do
Right.
anything about that. So that's the other thing. Um, and then I would say the fifth one is they want, they feel they feel anxiety, pressure, they feel down, they feel like their business is not sustainable. And so they want some lightness, some relief, some solution, some way of being that's not going to be this, you know, weight pulling them down. So yeah, those I think are the key aspirations they have when
Mm.
they come to me.
It's so beautiful. And we want to quantum leap to
Hmm.
the other side. And the
Hmm.
only that is not a sustainable model. Quantum
Hmm.
leaping is
Hmm.
very hard on your nervous system,
Yeah.
and you can't hold it
Yeah.
because you didn't build the muscles up
Yeah.
to get to that place. And so
Mhm.
this is just beautiful, slow and steady wins the race. And
Yeah.
then all it's, like they say, you're following the breadcrumbs,
Hmm.
which you do, but then all of a sudden, it feels like all of a sudden,
Yeah, it feels like, yeah.
it takes 10 years to become an overnight success, right?
Yeah.
Um, all you feel like I was just following the breadcrumbs and now I have a whole loaf of
Yeah.
bread on my lap. This is
Yeah.
amazing. And for
Yeah.
me, because I have had some what I would identify very big dreams in my heart that took a very
Mhm.
long time to
Mhm.
manifest, which I didn't realize I was the one keeping myself from them
Mhm.
that whole
Yeah.
time. But because I lived the life I had while I was waiting for the one I wanted, there was
Mhm.
also this momentum to my life so that when that thing happened, for example, when we got our referral from China that we could adopt Amelia,
Mhm.
I had already experienced 24 Mother's Days
Mhm.
of not being from when I decided I was ready to have a baby until Amelia lived in our house in the middle of
Mhm.
May. there were 24 Mother's Days. But as soon as I got the referral, I was like, huh, that wasn't so bad. Because like now, because I'm focused on where I'm going, not how
Yeah.
I'm not driving my car with my
Hmm.
windshield in the floorboard because I'm so concerned about where I am. I am
Hmm.
looking in the windshield. I am looking ahead for where I'm going. So whatever has happened, let's not live life in the rearview mirror and let's not live
Hmm.
life in the floorboard of what's right
Hmm.
underneath us. Let's look at where we're going and let's
Yeah.
talk to her and let's talk as her.
Yeah.
So identifying what we want, who we want to be as the woman who has this business and this impact, as that impact has been unlocked,
Hmm.
how does she talk?
Hmm.
What conversations is she having? What is she inviting clients into?
Yeah.
Let's channel her.
Yeah.
And that's how we get her to be her.
Yeah. I think we should do a retreat together.
Okay, let's.
I
Yeah,
really think so.
amazing. Yes.
I'd be so
And
happy.
that is thank you for saying that because that's what this is. It's the inspiration to reach out to someone who has a podcast and ask if you can be a guest, which of course I say yes, which then you say, well, let's have a coffee chat before. Okay. And then you say, oh, you're doing a Christmas market strip. I know this person who curates the most beautiful Christmas market in all of Paris. And here's her number. So then I call her and she's like, oh, I'm actually in Paris. Are you? I say, yes, I am. She invites me to her apartment and I meet her lovely, stunning husband who designs restaurants, who's showing me the plans for the restaurant he's working on and purchases the best croissant I've ever had in my life. And then they tell me how to skip the line for it's like, oh Mike, like you have no idea all the breadcrumbs on the trail, but it does, you have to get on the trail. You got to say yes. You got to pick up the first breadcrumb because you
Yeah.
just don't know
Yeah.
where it's going. But as
Yeah.
long as you're
Those
not
those
gluten free,
connections.
like you can pick up all the breadcrumbs because they are here for you.
Yeah. All those connections and what they lead to and the impact they have on our life. That's my passion. That's really it's my driver. That's how it all started and I just love it. So
So
this
good.
you going to
Yes.
Paris and
Yes.
meeting her is and she's my childhood friend. I mean, we went to high school together. So
The reason she let me in her apartment is because it was your introduction.
yeah. Yeah, you were a complete stranger to her, but I invited
Totally.
you,
I'm like,
so
she's just going to let anybody that wants to go to a Christmas market into her apartment. But
um,
you laid that groundwork, but I was the vibrational match to get
yes.
right into
And
that
you went
party.
and yes. Yes, a lot of introductions just, go nowhere.
The fortune
But
is in the follow up.
yes, absolutely.
Right? Like I have this new fabulous opportunity that I'm not going to say yet because this is going to air right now, but being in the process of having this unfold and sharing it with some select people that was aligned and strategic and timely had like, oh, well, we can do this together and this collaboration and this collaboration and this collaboration. And all of these friendships that I have fostered
Mm-hmm.
along the way, realizing that connection, that's my social currency.
Yes.
Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. So I didn't have to figure out how to do something that I did not go to school for.
Mm-hmm.
I literally am creating the life and the income and the experience that I desire by using the gifts that God already put in there.
Yeah. Who knew? It was that simple.
What? That was not what they taught me in school.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is it's otherworldly. And I think the other thing that comes up with that in the marketing piece is it's happening so fast. I feel like I have to catch everybody up because
Mhm.
they haven't know, they're not in my morning journal,
Yeah.
but this river is fast moving and I don't have to get everybody on board so they understand. I'm just like, listen, this is put your boat in the river wherever you are, but it's moving
Yeah.
fast. So come with me. I'm not going to catch you up to validate why I deserve whatever is
Oh, you're
happening
doing
to
it. You're
me.
doing
I'm
it.
just going to say, okay, well, in case you slept last night, this is what you missed.
But that's, it's interesting. It's full circle to what we were talking about. It's about action. So you move and you're moving and you create momentum. And so the first action is tiny, but then it compounds and it gets enriched with all the connections and the relationships. And it's a snowball. And the more relationships, the more conversations, the more action, the follow-up, it builds. And then all of a sudden, exactly as you said, you're moving fast and you're like, okay, I'm going down this, beautiful mountain and follow, otherwise you're gonna miss it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
builds
And
momentum.
follow because you are getting your own snowball in it.
Mhm.
It's not
Exactly.
that there's only so much and Wendy took it
Yeah.
all. She's fast.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not how it
Like,
works.
no, there's so much. There's
Yeah.
glitter for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so
I
good. Oh
love
my
that.
gosh. Sophie, I could
Mhm.
talk to you all day long.
Yes. Me too.
Thank you so much. So we'll link the calendar. What else do you want people to know about?
I'll give you the link to the book because on that book link you can find out about the workbook and then you'll be able to order that when it's ready. So, and you can buy the book from there. So yeah, I'll give you that. And
Perfect.
then my LinkedIn.
Yay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love you. Thank you for your time.
You too.
Thank you.